All right, this is the chapter 4 setup video for Slytherin. So you will need your ISN, pair of scissors, glue stick, glue bottle, something to glue with, a pen, and you will need the packet that says chapter 4 vocabulary, multiply and divide fractions. I should say multiply and divide fractions. Okay. You're going to take your packet, you're going to cut it down the center. Okay. Take your packet, cut it down the center so you have two now. You're going to take the staple out of this packet carefully. Take the staple out. Okay. So, for Slytherin, we left off on page 65. Here's page 65. Okay. So we're going to start on page 66. You're going to take the page that says Chapter 4 Vocabulary, Multiply and Divide Fractions, and that's going to get glued onto page 66. So that gets glued onto page 66. At the top of this page, you're going to write Chapter 4 Vocabulary. Okay, that's on top of page 66, Chapter 4 Vocabulary. You're going to leave page 67 blank. Page 68, you're going to glue in estimate products of fractions. This goes on page 68. Estimate products of fractions. So that goes on page 68. You're going to leave page 69 blank. Okay. On page 70, you're going to glue in multiply fractions and whole numbers. That goes on page 70. Multiply fractions and whole numbers on page 70. Okay, so that's page 70. Multiply fractions and whole numbers. On page 71, you're going to glue in the page that says try it out. Okay, letter A says 6 times 2/3. So letter A says 6 times 2/3. That goes on page 71. Okay. So the try it out page that says 6 times 2/3 for letter A. That goes on page 71. On page 72, you're going to glue in the page that says multiply fractions. This goes on page 72. Page 72, multiply fractions. Okay. Page 73, you're going to glue in try it out page. And it says letter A, 1/2 times 3/5. That goes on page 73. 1/2 times 3/5. Goes on page 73. Okay. So this is page 72. This is page 73. On page 74, you're going to glue in the one that says multiply mixed numbers. So on page 74, multiply mixed numbers. Goes on page 74. On page 75, you're going to glue in the try it out. Letter A says 2/3 times 2 1/2. So letter A says 2/3 times 2 1/2. Okay. So, page 74, page 75. Then on page 76, you're going to convert measurement units. I'm going to glue in the page that says convert measurement units. That goes on page 76. On page 77, you're going to glue in the page that has the big G on it. So on page 77. Okay, goes on page 77. Giant G goes on page 77. Okay, so here's page 76. Here, page 77. Okay. On page 78, you're going to glue in the try it out page that has letter A, 36 yards equals blank feet. So that goes on page 78. So the try it out that has 36 yards equals blank feet. That's your try it out page for page 78. Okay. Page 79. 79, you're going to leave blank. Page 80, you're going to put divide whole numbers by fractions. This is page 80. Divide whole numbers by fractions. This is page 80. On page 81, you're going to glue in the try it that has letter A. Find the reciprocal of 3/5. Okay, that goes on page 81. Goes on page 81. Okay. So there's 80. And then 81. page 82, you're going to glue in divide fractions. Okay, 82, divide fractions. Page 83, you're going to glue in the try it out. Letter A says 1/4 divided by 3/8. That goes on 83. 1/4 divided by 3/8. Okay, that goes on page 83. So 82, divide fractions. 83, the try it out, A is 1/4 divided by 3/8. That's 83. Okay. On page 84, you're going to put in divide mixed numbers, and it's got the Mount Everest on it. Okay, so this goes on page 84. So the divide mixed numbers, the one with Mount Everest on it, that goes on page 84. On page 85, you're going to put in the other one that says divide mixed numbers. Okay. So this is 85. Okay. So 84, divide by mixed numbers with the Mount Everest. And on page 85, divide by mixed numbers. On page 86, you're going to glue in the try it out page. It says letter A, 2 3/8 divided by 1/4. Okay, so that goes on 86. One that says 2 3/8 divided by 4. Okay. And then on page 87, you're going to glue in your math menu. That goes on page 87. Glue in your math menu. Page 87. Okay. So then, once you're done with that, we're going to go back to our table of contents. Fill that out. Okay. So page 66 through 67 is chapter 4, vocabulary. Page 66 through 67, chapter 4, vocabulary. Page 68 through 69. Is estimate products of fractions. So 68 through 69, estimate products of fractions. Page 70 through 71. Is multiply fractions. And whole numbers. So page 70 through 71, multiply fractions and whole numbers. Okay. I'm out of room over here. If you're not out of room, you can keep going. Okay. So I'm going to move to the next spot. So then I have 72 through 73. Is multiply fractions. 74 through 75 is multiply mixed numbers. 76 through 77. Just make sure this is right. '76 through 79. '76 through 79 is convert measurement units. '80 through 81 is divide whole numbers by fractions. '82 through 83 is divide fractions. '84 through 86 is divide mixed numbers. Then 87 is chapter 4 math menu. Okay. So that's all of those. And that is the end of the setup video for Slytherin for chapter 4.